Hey, what's up? It's Patrick. It's Rose via Fire. And I pray this message reaches who it needs to reach. So let's talk about God sees your dedication. You know what I'm saying? Um, God sees your dedication. You got people out there to whereas when they do things and then when they, let's say they work on a project for God and they doing something for God, right? They working for God, right? They be putting their all into it, you know what I'm saying? Some people be putting in like some of you out there is very attentive to detail. Some of you be adding like extra details to the work that you do for God, you know what I'm saying? Some of you is extremely like detail oriented. So to whereas you be adding in like a bonus to like you basically go the extra mile with everything that you do, you know what I'm saying? Like God sees your dedication. God sees how you are very attentive to detail. God sees how you always go the extra mile. You are always dedicated. You're staying consistent. You know what I'm saying? And your dedication is going to get rewarded. You know what I'm saying? God is going to reward your dedication. Because look, you got people out there to whereas they don't even want nothing to do with God, right? And they are dedicated to doing their own thing. They are dedicated to chasing their own path in life. That's really what majority of people do. They just chase their own plan. They just do their own thing in life. They're not trying to follow God's plan. You know, they just want to get in my house, travel, have fun, this and that. But what does that have to do with God's plan, though? It really don't. You know what I'm saying? And these people really, majority of people, bruh, they are focused on their doing their own thing. But let me tell you something about some of these people who are dedicated, but they are doing their own thing. Some of these people who are dedicated, but they are doing their own thing, what happens is a person could see their dedication. Another worldly person could see their dedication. You know what I'm saying? Another person who's doing their own thing and they are much bigger and much more successful at doing their own thing could see that's that person who's dedicated, but they not as big, you know what I'm saying? They not as popular. So they will reward that person who's dedicated, but they doing their own thing. Does that make sense? Or do I need to like, hold on, let me see if I could say it in a different way, you know what I'm saying? Try to make it more I guess easier. Let's say you got this celebrity and they are just doing their own thing. They don't want nothing to do with God's plan. They don't want to follow God. But then you have this smaller content creator who is also doing their own thing. They don't want nothing to do with God. But that smaller content creator is like dedicated, you know? Now that celebrity is gonna notice that smaller content creators' dedication and they're gonna reward that person's dedication. That's because if a person who's doing their own thing and if a person who's chasing their own plan in life, if their dedication gets rewarded, bruh, just think of how much more God will reward the dedication of those who actually stick to his plan. So you mean to tell me a celebrity will reward the dedication of a smaller content creator or whatever, more than God will reward the dedication of his own people? Come on, bruh. You know what I'm saying? God sees your dedication, you know. God sees, God is going to reward you in ways that's deeper than money. Because usually when these successful people, when they reward somebody's dedication who might be up and coming, it's usually just about money. But when God rewards your dedication, it's more than just money. You know what I'm saying? Money could be just one of those things, but when God rewards your dedication, God gonna reward your dedication in so many different ways because God could reward your dedication financially. Did I say dedication or education? I don't remember what I just said right there, but I think I said dedication. God is going to reward your dedication, and he's going to reward you financially. He could reward you using favor. He could grant you his favor, like favor that will allow you to go through doors that no other person could go through. That's because of your dedication. That's God's way of rewarding your dedication, by allowing you to go through doors that nobody else can go through. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure y'all be seeing people to whereas they are going through doors that everybody else can't go through. You be like, how you going through these doors that nobody else can go through? You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you getting access? I'm going to use like a video game example. How are you getting access to all these maps? And how you getting access to all these games that haven't even dropped yet? That's God's favor. God's favor will open doors, grant you things that haven't even happened yet. Maps and video games that haven't even dropped yet. You're already playing them. And I'm just using that video game example right there. But God will reward your dedication in so many ways. God will make you wiser and smarter, because what's the point of being rewarded financially when you're not smart enough to maintain that? You know what I'm saying? You're just gonna let anybody, let's say you're a man and you become rewarded financially, and then you choose the wrong woman, and then the wrong woman will mess up your finances. You know what I'm saying? So what's the point of just even becoming successful if you don't even have the knowledge and the wisdom on how to move? You just gonna lose. You know what I'm saying? So God is gonna give you the wisdom that it takes to maintain. Because if you don't have the strength it takes to maintain your blessings, and if you don't have the wisdom it takes to maintain your blessings, it just means that the door is right open for the devil to come and take everything at any given time he wants. Really, it's at any given time he wants, because you don't have the wisdom that it takes to maintain it. And God is going to give you that wisdom. And I know we're living in a generation where majority of people do not care about wisdom and being smart. Majority of people don't even care about that. But it's very important, because once you get successful and you don't know how to move, it's like you still gonna lose. You know, and we gotta be more grateful for just being smart and wisdom and all types of different things. But those are just two things that God will reward you with. God will reward you with all types of different ways. God will open secret doors that people don't even know about. You can't even tell everybody about them. You know, all types of things that you will experience when God sees your dedication, and when you are dedicated to God, and when you put the extra details into the works of God, when you go the extra mile for the works of God, when you always give God more and add a bonus to whatever work that you are doing for his kingdom, God sees your dedication. And, you know, God wanted me to tell you that God appreciates your dedication, even though sometimes it feels like, oh, I'm just dedicated. I don't think it's, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you could feel discouraged, but be encouraged, man. God appreciates your dedication, and God sees your dedication. You know what I'm saying? So that's just basically all I wanted to say, man. Peace.